Waste to wealth, or Taka na Pesa as popularly known in Kisumu, is a global phenomenon that has been adopted by many countries in their continued effort to keep the environment clean while generating much-needed income. In Kisumu, this approach is well embedded within the city's strategy for solid waste management, the Kisumu Integrated Solid Waste Management Plan, KISWAMP. UN Habitat identified Kisumu as a pilot ground to demonstrate the key pathway to translating waste into wealth. In partnership with civil society urban development platform, CSUDP, the City Department of Environment and the local waste actors network, a 5-step process was tested to demonstrate its viability as a model for cities to adopt in their waste to wealth strategies. The first step relates to institutional buy-in. In this step, the Kisumu case has demonstrated 3 key aspects that are important to generate the early interest and give a strong foundation for the shift from dominant waste disposal to waste recovery. 1 is the presence of an institutionalized strategy that embraces waste recovery, which in the case of Kisumu is presented through KISWAMP. 2nd is the public investment strategy, especially in form of deliberate budgetary allocation for the waste recovery sector. The 3rd is the setting of an environment through which private and social sector players can engage in the waste recovery chain. While these 3 may not be the only facilitating factors at the foundational stage, they remain an important indicator of the institutional acceptance of the transition from disposal to recovery. The second step relates to data. The adoption of the 4R principle of reduce, recover, reuse and recycle requires that the city or municipality has clear knowledge on the different waste streams and their pathways of disposal. The Kisumu case presented a classical example of available tools that can be easily deployed by the city/municipal authorities to make a fairly accurate determination of the solid waste data. Using the UN Habitat Waste Wise Cities tool, WACT, local officials, waste actors and community groups are able to periodically determine and update the waste data necessary for planning and design of different approaches to solid waste management, including recovery and recycling. The third step involves organization of the sector players. Very often the actors involved in waste recovery and recycling remain invisible to the authorities and largely operate within an unregulated environment fraught with intense competition and illegal trading habits. It is important that the city authorities recognize the waste actors, informal or formal, as an important cog within the spinning wheel of waste management. There are many ways to achieve such recognition, and in the Kisumu case this was demonstrated through the organization and legitimization of the actors within a network that is regulated by procedures, rules and norms of doing business and promoting waste enterprise growth. Incentives such as providing public infrastructure from where the actors can consolidate their business and deliberate efforts to zone and regulate the offtake private sector partners promotes fair play and dignifies the business. Kisumu set an example through the construction of waste recovery centers using public funds and establishing a regulated business environment to promote fair play. The fourth step involves inspiring business growth. As a key factor of inspiration, business prospectors would like to be assured of returns on investment and an environment that promotes good business practice. These segments of business also require some level of assurance on access to credit for business growth. In the Kisumu case, this has been demonstrated through the establishment of a business model anchored upon a framework of a community-managed funds, CMF, designed as a catalytic fund for lower value chain actors, mainly the waste pickers and intermediate traders. This supports these lower value chain actors or enterprise to bridge the gap between them and the highly established end-of-chain manufacturers who convert the recovered waste into market products. The fifth and final step focuses on sustainability. Two most important aspects of sustainability are policy and legislation. Through this project, additional effort was made to capture compelling evidence that would assist in aligning the emerging city bylaws and county waste management policy with the potential that exists and has been exhibited in the waste recycling and recovery sector. This is a call to board the train of turning waste into jobs. There is a rapidly growing youth bulge against the backdrop of rapidly diminishing job opportunities. These youth are innovative and have an abundance of youth energy. Such assets should not be converted into despondency, but harnessed for the betterment of the present and future generation. It is time for youth to diversify and get into the waste business. The growth of this sector has the compound effect of reducing the volume of disposable waste streams while expanding the recovery streams and converting this expansion into wealth.